What's up, YoshTown, back with another MK11 video. In this video I'm going to be explaining how frame data works. I'm aware that MK11 have a tutorial explaining how it works, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth and also give you a visual to see how it works. So in order to understand what frame data is, you got to understand what a frame is. A frame is basically a still image, and if you pause the video right now, you'll see everything right now frozen. That's what a still image is, or a frame is. So now that you understand to a degree what a frame is, I guess I should explain that Mortal Kombat 11 runs at 60 frames per second. And what that means is you have one still image that transitions into the next still image to get this smooth image right here. So you have 60 still images that you transition in between every second, so you can see this video. So if you're playing like on PC and it's at 120, it'll be even more smoother. So the importance of understanding frame data, you will have an advantage against your opponent knowing which combo to actually execute in a given situation. So we're going to start off with our startups, our actives, and our recoveries. So we're going to go between our basic attacks for our straight punch and our gut slice. As you see, for my straight punch, I'm gonna do a straight punch right now. Right now, off of just one glance, you can tell there's a difference as far as speed and using these. And the reason being is your straight punch for the startup is a 7. So the startup frames just means it takes 7 frames before when you're in. Actually, let me show you first. So for your startup frames, for your straight punch, and right now you're in a neutral state. Scorpion's in this neutral state, so the moment you press 1 to your straight punch, it's going to take 7 frames before it connects to Sub-Zero. And then during that time it actually hits Sub-Zero, it's going to be 2 frames, which is your active frames. And for your recovery, it's going to take 17 frames to recover. As you see right now, your recovery is 17. For your gut slice, the startup is 14, the active is 2, and your recovery is 29. So it's going to take 14 frames before it connects to Sub-Zero. It's going to be 2 frames while it's active. You know, that's the time when it's actually hitting him and doing damage. And it's going to take 29 frames before he recovers, and it puts him back into a neutral state where he's capable of actually doing another combo or a special move. As you can see right here, I'm going to try to do a jab right after it, and you're going to see I'm going to be pressing it. Hold on, let me do a back 1. And as you see, it takes time before I can actually recover from it, versus a straight punch. I can recover pretty fast. I'm gonna try to do a throw. Throw is about a 10. I gotta match it a bit. You're gonna see it's a little bit slower when I do a backslash. See, recovery, you're gonna have to wait until those frames are done before you can actually execute anything else. So the lower the number is for your startup and your recovery, the better it is for you. That means the faster you're able to execute that move, and the faster it is for you to recover if the numbers are low. The next thing I get into also is your hit advantage. This just means if the opponent isn't blocking, you're putting them in what's called a hit stun. That means they're stuck in these frames where they can't do anything. They can't fight back, can't throw, they can't do a special move, no basic attack or combos at all. So you have the advantage. In this case, for your jab, you have a 4-frame advantage. And what that means is, you know, you have utilize those 4 frames in order to try to do another move right afterwards. And for your back 4, it looks like you have a 9-frame advantage. So you have 9 frames. So in this case, you can do like unfortunately for practice, I can't really show you an example because they don't have the settings where you can actually show Sub-Zero trying to actually fight back after he recovers. So I advise you to actually just test it out on your own. But let me see if I try I don't want to do a cancel, but I do a 1-2, and then I do a jab. But you'll see when you practice or you go against someone that you'll see that they won't have the chance to actually recover if they're stuck, if the advantage is pretty high. So if you have your hit advantage it's a 51, it means that's how much time it's going to take for them to recover in comparison to you, how much time you have until you can do your next move whether that's dashing towards them or if that's preparing to do your throw. Depends on if they're knocked down, or if they're juggled in the air, or if they're still standing. So you still got to take that into consideration when actually doing that. I'm gonna show a video right now just to show how the counter works. The frame data isn't necessarily 100% accurate. It could be a little bit higher than what's told on the frame data. But on the top right corner, you'll see the counter for the frames for your startup, your active, and your recovery. The next thing I want to talk about is block advantage. This is basically who will have the advantage while the opponent is blocking, who will go into neutral state and have extra frames to perform a special move, a combo, or a throw after you execute your combo. So let's go back into the move list, and you'll see for my gut slice, I'm at a disadvantage. So the lower this number is, the more you're at a disadvantage. So you want this number to be over 0 as much as possible. That means how many frames you got in order to get another chance and attack your opponent and get through their defense. But the lower it is, the more you're at a disadvantage. As you see for your straight punch, it's a -2. Now this doesn't mean that your opponent will get a combo or special move over you, because not many characters have any move that's that quick. So in most cases, it's best if you're doing a combo like that and your if your block advantage is a -2 or -3, it's best to just block and you should be good. But something like a gut slice, that's for somebody like Sub-Zero. He has plenty combos or basic attacks or special moves that has enough frames to actually execute and hit you, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So I'm actually going to turn on Sub-Zero's reversal, and as you can see, when I do my jab, it is a throw. Actually, let me duck. See, I have time to actually defend myself. But if this was like a slide or a freeze ball, I actually have time to block because he doesn't have any attacks that's a -2. But if I do a gut slice and I try to duck, I don't have time. As you see, I've tried to press down. I'm gonna do it again. Still don't have enough time. That's because I'm at a disadvantage. I have -14 frames. That's 14 frames I have where I'm still trying to recover, and he has those 14 frames where he can actually use. So say versus his throw is actually 10 frames. So he has 10 frames. Well, he has 14 frames, and he's going to use 10 of them to actually get that throw in. So he's definitely going to get that throw way before I can recover. So that's something to know. And again, the higher the number this is, the better it is for you. I know you probably see the F/block ADV. That just means flawless block, and the same rules apply for that as well. I'm gonna show an example of the video now. Last thing I want to talk about is cancels. I want to make a separate video going more in depth on it, but the short answer is if you're doing a combo or basic attack, it means you can execute a special move right after it. If you're executing a special move, it means you can amplify after it, or you can do an extra input. So you see for the special move, for like the spear, like you see, it has a number under the cancel advantage. If you see an NA, it means you can't cancel. You can't do anything after. You can't cancel into anything. But for my spear, I can actually cancel into an amplify. For my helport, I can cancel into an amplify, but I can also cancel into a cancel. So you hold down or you hold back in order to do your cancel for helport. And the same goes for helport in the air. For your combos, like you see this, if it has an NA, you can't cancel into it, but if you do a combo that does have a cancel, you can do a special move right after it. Example, and if I do my spear, see I just canceled into an amplify. Of course, you can do it in sequence like that. So that's pretty much the explanation for cancels. Again, I'll explain more in depth in a different video. But that's all I got for this video as far as frame datas go. If I miss anything, feel free to leave down in the comments. If this video was helpful, leave a like down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.